Oh my gosh, guys. Hello, first of all, to everybody. Let me know right off the bat if you can see me okay, if you can hear me okay. I apologize that the live stream started a little bit late, but so crazy. Just as I was about to start it, I'm here in Bloor West Village. I ran into a former colleague when I worked at my waitressing job, Sukhothai. One of the other servers that I used to work with was literally just like right there. We were like, oh my God, like what are the chances? So I had to stop and have a chat with her. So yeah, small world here in Toronto. I want to say a very good morning. Thank you for coming out to Rahul as always. Hope you're doing good. Hello to Harriet, Jim, and Yuki. Thank you for coming out. We got Alan K, Aaron, Advisor IT. Thanks for coming out. Chris, David, Marin from Romania, Demetrio, Carlos, Ola. Hello, friends. My goodness, it feels like it's been a while. I was actually planning on doing this live stream last week, but it's been it's been a dramatic 3 weeks now I've been in Toronto. It's been pretty dramatic this week especially. Let me just run over the basics with y'all. So I just got to Toronto 3 weeks ago. I'm planning to be here for like 2.5 months with a special trip in the middle of that. I'll let you know where that is in a second. But basically I'm here because I missed Toronto, and I have, a lot of friends here because I used to live here for about 7 years. And so since I've been traveling so much, I really just wanted to take some time to be in one place and just have a social life, just enjoy the summer here, and also possibly get some new work contacts. So that is why I am here, and overall things have been going well, other than one thing I guess I should mention that I hope won't be an issue on this live stream, but just I guess want to give a quick note on it, is unfortunately this past week I have been dealing with some very weird health problems, you could say. It felt like almost out of nowhere I've started to have this sort of, I don't want to call it per se numbness in the left side of my body, primarily in my left foot and left leg, but it's especially bad when I feel a cold temperature. It's not just pins and needles, but it is pain. So like the left side of my body feeling like just very uncomfortable and painful if I feel cold. And also sometimes I've noticed it if I walk for too long. So, hopefully my live stream will be okay. I have managed to walk around like okay. I'm waiting on like all my blood tests that I got just the other day to come through. So just want to make you guys aware of that. And if for some crazy reason anybody else has ever had these weird kinds of symptoms, like please shoot me a message. I'm trying not to freak myself out with all the crazy things that the internet says it could be. I hope it's just going to be like a passing random thing that doesn't have any bearing on anything else. But it's been, very stressful and uncomfortable this past week dealing with it. So just wanted to say that. Oh wow, we already got 100 people in here. Hello, everybody. Also, other thing I want to say for anybody who is dealing with this or has any friends and family that has been dealing with the crazy wildfires here in Canada, my heart truly goes out to them. The chaos that has been this year for Canada, and it feels like almost every single province having to deal with wildfires, but especially what's going on near Kelowna right now and all in the Northwest Territories. Like, I'm so sorry for anybody who is dealing with that, and I hope friends and family are safe if you have anybody out there. So that's unfortunately the other thing that we've been having go on this past week here in Canada. So a lot of madness, to be honest. It's like past couple of years, ever since COVID, I feel like time just goes by so quickly and so dramatically that it's like, can we just have like some peace to catch our breath, like not have a housing crisis, not have a cost of living crisis. I feel like it's just been kind of madness in the last while. I don't know if you guys feel that way. So I'm gonna get to all of your questions. Thank you so much to everyone for all your comments, and especially anybody talking about the health stuff. I'm sorry you're going through that too. I'm gonna hope that, yeah, I freaking figure out what the hell this is. Thank you for the super chat, Michael. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much. I hope things get better soon as well, and I hope you're doing well. So thank you so much. But let's get into it. I'll do a walk and talk as we get going with things. But we are actually in a neighborhood here in Toronto that is very special to me and that I have spent quite a bit of time in. It is Bloor West Village, obviously in the very west part of Toronto. It is on Bloor Street, and this is actually considered to be the Ukrainian neighborhood of the city. You guys will probably see quite a few Ukrainian flags down here. There's a Ukrainian bank. There's a few places that carry like Ukrainian food or Ukrainian bistros, but I'm really shocked how in all of Toronto, in the downtown parts anyway, there's very few Ukrainian or even Russian restaurants or places where you can get that kind of food. For the amount of Ukrainians that we have here and Russians that we have here, there's really not a lot of those kinds of stores, which is a shame. But if you wanted to see the Ukrainian part of the city, this is where you would go. And one thing that has definitely been noticeable since I have been here, because I guess I should mention this is the area that I'm currently living in, I hear way more Ukrainian spoken on the streets. So I think a lot of the Ukrainians that immigrated in the last while because of the war to Toronto, I feel like a lot of them did decide to live in this area, which makes sense. So it is really lovely that this area is continuing to flourish. It's a very peaceful, quiet, family-friendly sort of area. And a lot of the local businesses that are in this area have been the same businesses that have been here for a long time. So this is a lovely part of Toronto, and this is where we are going to start our walk and talk today. This is the intersection of Bloor and Jane. This is basically where I guess Bloor West Village would begin, and we are going to head east towards High Park, which is another one of my favorite areas of Toronto. I'm very happy to hear you're doing good, Michael. Very happy to hear that. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that that happened to your family, Genway. I'm so sorry. May your mother rest in peace. That's very tragic. Gosh, we've all been going through it all lately, haven't we? Whew. So friends, that is actually the clinic that I went to yesterday for my blood test down here. And I will say, because I had gotten, my full yearly physical in Calgary and Alberta, alongside a whole bunch of other tests, just because, I haven't had like a proper yearly checkup in quite some time, I have been shocked that here in Toronto, considering I've heard so many negative things about the healthcare system, specifically in this province, how long the wait times are, you can't get in anywhere. I was shocked that I had such a good experience and got in fairly fast at the walk-in clinic here in Bloor West Village, and then I went to the blood diagnostic place just to walk in as soon as they opened yesterday, got in, within half an hour. So I definitely know that for sure some specialists or appointments would probably be months to get into, but luckily so far from my experience, even being out of province, I've been able to get in fairly quick, which has been good. Aw. Thank you so much to Brianna for the super chat. You are so sweet. Hello, sis, and greetings from Buenos Aires. Oh, wow, amazing. Great place to be in. Looks like it's my new home now. Oh, wow. Here's a little help for a cool, refreshing drink. Weather there looks totally fab, as do you. Thank you so much, Brianna. And oh my goodness, that sounds amazing. I hope you have an amazing time in Argentina. That is so cool. Another place that I would love to go to sometime. Juliet asks, did you go to the Ukrainian Independence Day celebration yesterday? I actually wasn't aware that they were having anything here in Toronto. I had a meeting all of day yesterday with a friend, but yeah, yesterday was Ukrainian Independence Day. But I think in Kiev, you know, in the capital, from what I heard, they had canceled everything just for, you know, safety reasons. They don't want a whole bunch of people meeting up in the same place, but hopefully in the future, when Ukraine is finally free of this insane situation, hopefully we can celebrate that in peace. Zhenwei, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks again for showing us around all over Canada. Please take good care of yourself and stay healthy. Thank you so much, Zhenwei. That is much appreciated. And yeah, honestly, I'm gonna try my best to deal with this as best I can, but at the same time, you know, just thinking about it all the time is very scary and depressing. So in a way, that's why I wanted to do this live. Oh. What the hell? Yeah, so obviously it is a scary thing I'm dealing with, so this is great. So we're crying on the live. Yeah. So yeah, if you don't think about it, it's a lot easier to not cry on your live. So I'm gonna get it together. We're gonna hope for the best. Not gonna have anything scary happen. And yeah. Don't even know where to start. Whew. Okay, gonna pull it together. So, I used to live in this, well, close to this part of Bloor West Village, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I lived primarily in the village, the gay village, for most of my time in Toronto, but I actually moved out to High Park at the end of one of my long-term relationships, and we lived in the winter near High Park for about half a year, but then we broke up and I went back to the village. So I lived here, yeah, for half a year, but it was in the winter, which kind of sucks because the summer is definitely the best time to explore this place. So it's nice to be here in the summer because that is when, you know, you can really enjoy the park, enjoy the nice patios that they have here. And yeah. Aw. Thank you very much to Jim Ross for coming out. And thank you so much, Jim, for the PayPal that you sent me. You're so very kind, as always. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the Canadian Jet Setter, a fantastic creator. Hi, Alina. Hope all is well. Been enjoying your Canada videos. Let me know if you ever make it to Winnipeg. Thank you so much. I absolutely will. Would be great to meet you. And yeah, I feel like Manitoba is, I feel bad that I haven't made a proper trip to Manitoba yet. I probably haven't been there since I was a kid. And I know, you know, there's a lot of beautiful nature there, especially in the north, and Winnipeg I haven't been to in a really long time. So yeah, we'll definitely make a trip up there sometime soon. Oh, is my mom here? Oh yeah, hi Mom, thanks for coming out. Whoops. One thing is weird, there's been so many wasps. There's been so many wasps here in Toronto this season, which is strange. Okay, guys, all right. I'm gonna flip the camera here. We're gonna keep going. Oh, hello to April. Thank you so much for coming out. I love that they did these like huge pots of flowers here as well on Bloor West. I would actually say that compared to the many other neighborhoods that I've seen so far here in Toronto, in comparing them to the last time that I was here about 2 years ago, and also obviously when I lived here, I would say that Bloor West is still one of the, you know, nicest, cleanest, safest probably too, taken care of sort of neighborhoods. Because unfortunately in a few other neighborhoods, which maybe I'll show you guys on other streams, unfortunately that is not the case. You know, there's been definitely some negative consequences post-COVID, and I think just the cost of living, you know, for people, more people dealing with homelessness, which is super sad. And yeah, just some neighborhoods aren't what they used to be, but Bloor West Village, I feel like, is still relatively the same as it always has been, just a very well taken care of neighborhood. Aw. Thank you so much for the super chat. Nelson, thank you so much. Huge fan of your videos, watching from Park Lawn Lakeshore. Hugs. Aw, thank you so much, Nelson. So that's so kind of you. Thank you. Michael, thank you so much once again. I understand how you feel, Alina. I send many hugs. Thank you so much. You guys are really lovely. Got somebody from Brazil, Camila, thank you so much. Oh, thanks guys. I appreciate it. Okay, we're not gonna keep crying, we're gonna keep going. Zaza Espresso Bar, very popular Italian coffee chain here in Toronto in general. Let's keep going. Oh, I think I missed a super chat. I missed a super chat from Harriet, Jim, and Yuki, did I not? I'm so sorry, guys. Life has its challenges. We had ours. Be well, dear friend, Harriet, Jim, and Yuki. Thank you so much, guys. That's very sweet of you. And yeah, definitely life has its challenges. That is for sure. Thank you so much for that. And hope you're doing well. So I've seen a few comments now asking about obviously one of the most insane parts of living in Toronto, which is the rent. Where is the rent at? And yeah, it's bad. It's very bad. I knew before coming here that, you know, yeah, basically it was going to be bad. I had booked my accommodation about 3 months ago, so technically I got an all right deal for what the average price is, but the average price is just insane. So if we're talking about actually living in Toronto, getting a long-term lease in a good central part of the city, a average 1-bedroom apartment right now is going for 24 or even I think 2,500 Canadian dollars, which is what, 2,000-ish US or 2,100 US. Absolute insanity, just absolute insanity. And you know, it's not even like a big 1-bedroom apartment. They're usually quite small. And if actually you get into the really fancy buildings, one of the craziest things that I saw on a TikTok was there was a studio in one of the newest buildings that they had built, which sure has like all the bells and whistles. It looks absolutely beautiful. But a studio was $3,000. Like what? Like that is insanity. Like $3,000 for a studio apartment. Mark says sounds like NYC. That's exactly what it sounds like. I know New York is up much higher than we are still nowadays, but like we are getting to that level here. And from my understanding, Vancouver is even worse. So I think there, the average 1-bedroom rent, once again in a central part of the city, is like $2,800. Like there's people that, you know, if you're even on a minimum wage of, you know, $15-16, I think that's what the minimum wage is in Vancouver, or I mean in BC, and like that wouldn't even cover your rent after taxes. I mean, that wouldn't even cover your rent. So how people are supposed to live, and actually speak of the devil here, we have a real estate office. So here we can give you guys a direct example of what things are going for, though keep in mind some of these I think aren't all directly in Toronto. Some are like in Oakville, as that one says. But here, look, so enjoy Bloor West Village, the junction. Oh, an executive unit is in a quiet residential street. So that's not the whole house, it's just like a unit, maybe like the main floor or the top floor or whatever, for $3,200 a month. Need a few more details, of course, to know if it's a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. I'd hope it's a 2-bedroom. But yeah, that's an example. They really need to give more details. Let's see here if we can find something. Like this is like, I mean, yeah, okay, this is like a family home, but that's still really crazy. So a 3 + 2. Actually, what does that mean? Do you guys know 3 + 2? Does that mean 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-story detached house? Oh yeah, with 2 full baths and parking. I think that's what that means. Has parking, probably not like right downtown, but somewhere near the lake, but $4,200 a month. And I don't even know if that has utilities as well. So just insanely high. And like, you know, if you want to buy anything, it's usually at least $1 million or $2 million. This tiny house, $5,000, almost $6,000 a month. Little house in Trinity Bellwoods, 1.6. Probably a 1-bedroom apartment, I would imagine. Oh, I'm sorry, studio, not even a 1-bedroom apartment, a studio apartment near in this area for $529,000. And then keep in mind your condo fees are probably going to be $400 or $500 a month. Like, it's absolute madness. It's absolute madness. I'm gonna do probably like a video on this sometime, talking about how when I moved here, actually October 1st will be exactly 10 years since I first moved here. I moved here in October 1st, 2013, and the rent that me and my boyfriend paid in a beautiful like 1-bedroom apartment right downtown was $1,500. And I bet you that same apartment now is like at least 25, 26, because it was also a larger place. So it's just nuts. I think I missed a super chat here. Why isn't it not coming up? I see it's from Flavio. Thank you so much. But why can't I read your message? Oh, here we go. Or maybe there wasn't a message. If there was, Flavio, please write it again. I just see that you sent a super chat for $20, so thank you so much. That's so kind of you. And thank you so much to Harriet, Jim, and Yuki for the super chat. Have you enjoyed the food there as we did when we were there? Feel better. Thank you so much, guys. Oh yeah, I mean, the restaurant scene here in Toronto is definitely like one of the big draws for me of why I really love this city. Because first of all, you got so many different nationalities in Toronto, and I just love when actual locals open up restaurants of, you know, their own local food, and you get to try everything all in one city. There's a lot of great like fusion restaurants here. You can basically find whatever you want in Toronto food wise. I'd like to say that in the past it was definitely much more budget friendly, you know, to go out to eat. Now it is very difficult to really get anything for under $15, to be honest. So I'm not eating out as much as I used to, actually, strangely enough. When I used to live here and I made way less money, I feel like I actually could eat out more. which in a way doesn't make sense, but somehow I feel the prices were much more reasonable back then. Now it's like, well, even yesterday, like I went out with a friend, we went to just an average mid-range, you know, restaurant, basically a pub. We split 2 entrees, and we didn't really want to drink, so we split a flight of beers, so like basically a small beer each. And with tax and tip, because the tip in Toronto nowadays, they more or less expect 18 to 20% is the normal thing to tip in Canada. So our bill came to like almost $70. So, you know, $35 for a basic like pub meal right now. Like that seems very high to me. I don't remember it being, you know, that crazy, you know, even 5 years ago. So I'm definitely trying out the restaurants, but at the same time, I'm cooking at home a lot more, because I think to myself, like, how much farther that money would go if I was abroad. You know what I mean? Like, I remember getting an amazing like pho soup in Vietnam for like $2 or $3, getting like the best mango smoothie of my life for, you know, yeah, once again, like $3 in like Thailand or something. And so to spend 10 times that, you know, on a meal basically, well, maybe not 10 times for a whole meal, but you know what I mean. It's just, it doesn't make sense to spend more than I need to here in Toronto, because I will be leaving. I ain't gonna stay here long term, and I just don't want to spend all of my money on just super basic things. So that's what the food scene is like. Fantastic but expensive. So yeah. Let's see here. Reading your restaurants here. Okay, let me flip the camera here. We got a Catholic church right across the way. We got some lovely local shops, and we're gonna keep heading down here. Mark asks, any street food in Toronto? So that sort of thing is really highly regulated in Toronto. You can't just, you know, set up shop wherever you want and sell, you know, hot dogs or something. You do need a license, and there's only certain places where you can do it. So I wouldn't say that there's a lot of street food in Toronto. You would really only see it at big festivals, you know, usually is when it happens, or specifically like street markets or something like that. That's usually where you would see street food. There's a few places, I would say downtown, that usually come by during lunch hours. I think more for like the downtown business crowd. I think there was like a taco sort of van that I used to see downtown a lot. But it's not very common, to be honest. It's not even remotely like Southeast Asia, where you just go down a back alley and, you know, somebody's whipping up some Thai fried rice or something like that. It's not at all like that here. So yeah, kind of have to go to a sit-down restaurant or like get something to go. Lots of really great fresh produce out right now, though. We do get, I think, a lot of our produce that's local from BC. So it is like peach and apricot season right now. What is that guy doing? Okay. Yeah, so the produce is actually really good here in Toronto right now. Oh, Ukrainian flag. You see that, guys? Says Кредитова спілка будічність. I actually don't know what budúčinist means. Oh, and funny, those people that just passed are Ukrainian. They were speaking Ukrainian. That's funny. You guys know that my Ukrainian definitely is not that strong, but obviously I can read Cyrillic and certain words are similar. But basically, yeah, it's like a credit union. So There's this one on this side, and then there's another one on that side. I don't know if you guys can see the Ukrainian kind of coat of arms over there. So kind of two of those. Kind of closer to Dundas West area, there is a Taras Shevchenko museum, which is a really famous Ukrainian writer and poet. They have a whole museum dedicated to him in that area, which I found a bit strange. I don't know why they didn't put it in this area, but I should probably go to that while I'm here on this trip. And just coming up here, I think somebody had asked about it, because this is also, yeah, one of my favorite cafes in Bloor West Village. Baka Gallery Cafe has been around for a very long time. Definitely a staple of this area. Has fantastic coffee and really good breakfast actually too. Definitely one of my favorite places. So somebody was asking if it was still open, and yes, it definitely is. Thank God. Really, really like it. Let's see what else is in this area. Oh, and yes, so this is the area that every single year there is a Ukrainian festival that usually goes on for 3 days. I'll actually have to take a look of when it is, because I'm pretty sure it's at the end of this month. So maybe I could even do a live stream, or I don't know, do a video on that when it's the time of the festival here. So if you happen to be in Toronto while it's going on, I would highly recommend coming. They basically close down this whole part of the street, usually from Runnymede to Jane, and yeah, just have like food vendors and, you know, Ukrainian dancing performances, all that good stuff. So I've been to it a few times when I lived here. Bread and Roses has been here a long time. That's another great place. Hello to Mario from LA. Hello to Teres from Indonesia. Got people from all over the world here today. Gonna make it, yes. We even have a ramen place here, Kenton Ramen, popular chain here in Toronto, but I don't remember seeing it on Bloor West Village before, so that's pretty cool. Aw. Oh. Thank you so much to Carolyn from Chiang Mai. Very cool that you are in one of the best places in Thailand. You said you sent me a super chat, but I strangely don't see anything here. Am I not seeing something on my end? Because the last super chat that I see is from Harriet, Jim, and Yuki. Very strange. But thank you so much. Sorry if I missed it here, but for some reason on my end I don't see a super chat. But thank you so much, and hope you are doing well. I will be sending my dad to Chiang Mai later this year. Well, actually, should I tell you guys my plans now, or should we wait until we finish Bloor West Village? Let me finish this, and then as we're walking to High Park, I'll tell you guys all about my plans. It was in blue, but that's okay. Take care, always sending hugs. Thank you so much, Carolyn. That's so strange. Or maybe, did I miss it earlier? Is that maybe it? So sorry if I did. I wish. Okay, wait, now I see another super chat that I didn't see before. But thank you so much, Carolyn. I really appreciate it. And sorry I didn't see it right at the time that you sent it. Hope you're doing well. NK, now I see a super chat from NK. Thank you so much. So greatly appreciated. Hope you are doing well. And thank you for the very cute super sticker. And yes, I did see Costas World of Music had sent the $20 super chat. Yeah, that's Harriet, Jim, and Yuki. I saw that one from theirs. Thank you so much, though, for keeping me updated here. That's what I need.
There's a name in my head.
Yes, Chris, Starbucks, the home of $10 coffee, unfortunately. Unfortunately, like Starbucks has always been expensive, but definitely like it's gotten worse because, you know, my favorite drink there is the brown sugar oat shaken espresso. And because the taxes here in Ontario are, what are they, 13% or whatever, it's like with taxes, it comes to $7 for a grande. And then, you know, if you leave a tip, yeah, it's like $8.50. May as well round it up to $10. And I'm like, that used to be a meal. Like, that used to be a meal. Like, what the hell? It's bad. Jim Ross says it was before Flavio's super chat. Okay. Yeah, I think there's definitely like my notifications about super chats are going like away really quickly before I see them. So thank you for letting me know, guys. Please, if I do miss one, like please write it in the comments, and I will try and address it before it goes away. Thank you so much to David for the super chat. Greetings from Kitchener, Ontario. Amazing. Keep being awesome, Alina. Thank you so much, David. That's so kind of you. I was in Kitchener, I guess the last time, maybe, yeah, last time I was here, we went through it. I was on a road trip and we went through Kitchener, lovely place. So thank you so much. All right, guys, so let me show you the end of Bloor West Village here. We're kind of, well, not coming to the end of it, but kind of the main part where there's actually businesses. We're coming to the end too. So let me just show you that. Sunshine Village has been around here for a very long time, has pretty good breakfast. Look how busy they are in there, crazy. So, yeah. This place is new. I don't remember this being here last time I was here. Bello Pizza and Hot Black Coffee. That was not here, and I went in here the other day for a coffee and it was pretty good. So that's new for me anyway. This is my grocery store. Very grateful that there's, you know, a fairly, I guess you can call it budget friendly, but it's kind of not. Even, you know, groceries really aren't that budget friendly in Canada, but No Frills is supposed to be one of the lesser expensive grocery stores, especially in Toronto. So I'm lucky that this is about, I guess it takes me about a 15-minute walk to walk home from here. So yeah, that's the grocery store that I go to. Oh, I guess we were talking about rent and I haven't told you guys about, yeah, what my situation is. It will be in the video that I have coming out this week, but if you want to have your jaws drop, so we're gonna guess. Let's do a guessing game. So if I wanted to get my own short term, right? I'm here for just a few months, so I need a short term furnished apartment or a place to sleep basically. So if I wanted to have my own apartment and, you know, renting it off of Airbnb in a good area of the city with good ratings, obviously we don't want to stay in the boonies or, you know, take a risk on a place that has no reviews. So if I wanted something in that criteria, it starts at $3,500. $3,500, you heard correctly, yes, $3,500 for an Airbnb starting. If I wanted like a really nice place, then yeah, it'd probably be like $4,000, $4,500. So obviously I'm not going to be spending that kind of money on a one-bedroom apartment, and even a studio. Like a studio too is like going to be in the $3,000 mark, and I basically said like my budget is $2,000. Like that's already like a crazy amount of money to be spending, right, a month on accommodation. But I was like, you know, it's important to me to see my friends. I have other things I really want to do here, so, you know, I saved up money for this trip. So the best that I could find, and like I said, this is a deal. This is a deal. Guess how much I am paying for a room. Obviously, I had to go with just my own room. So you share the kitchen and the washroom. in a basement apartment. So we're not even above ground. Usually I don't like to live in basements because it's so little light and it's cold. So I was hoping for above ground, but I decided to go with this place because, you know, it was less expensive than other rooms that I was seeing. So take a guess at how much a room in a basement, and there's 3 other people who can live there. There's 3 rooms in this basement. Yeah, per month. Furnished. It's a nice place. Like, I will say, it's a nice place. The hosts are great. There's nothing wrong with the property other than the ridiculous price. And me, I don't particularly like to be in a basement, but it is what it is. So, okay, I see $900, $1,500, $1,400, $1,600, $1,700. Jim says $1,800. Chantal says 2,000. Zaki says 1,500. And so just for reference, so I was here, you know, 2 years ago, and I was looking at the same kind of situation. I couldn't afford a 1-bedroom apartment when I came last time either, but I was looking at, okay, like if I stayed here for a month. And so with a month, you're also getting a deal. Like, keep in mind, this is a deal. If you rented per night for just 2 weeks, it would be way more expensive per night. So you're getting a discount because you're staying on a monthly rate. So back 2 years ago, I think a room was going for like $1,400 a month, which is already like stupid, right? Stupid. Now, for my place, I'm paying $1,700 or $1,760, even closer to $1,800 a month. Yeah. And like I said, that's a deal that I booked 3 months ago or 4 months ago because I knew it would get bad the longer that I left it. There'd be less options. So yeah, I'm paying like almost $1,800. The average price of a room on Airbnb in a good area with good reviews, you know, is a nice modern place, is basically $2,100 a room. It's insane. So that's what the short-term rental market is. And like I said, that's a monthly rate. So if you came here and you just want to stay like for a week, you're coming to Toronto for a week, right? So you have 3 options. You have regular hotels, you have an Airbnb, either your own apartment or a room, or you have hostels. And hostels right now are basically $100 a night for a hostel bunk bed. Like an Airbnb room, like this place that I'm staying at, if you stayed there on just a nightly rate, I think they were charging like $110 or something like that, which technically would be better than a hostel. At least you get your own room, so it'd be better than the hostel. But like still, it's sick. Like, it's just sick. So you better have like a good reason that you chose like Toronto as your vacation. Like, I have friends here, I have business things to do here, but like, I'm sorry, I would not come to Toronto on vacation. Like, there's just so many better options where your money will go so much farther. Like, unless you're just so rich that you don't care about money, why would you come here? Like, why would you come here? It's just so bad. So yeah. Oh, I did not see a super chat from Zaki. Zaki, I see that you sent a super chat, but I don't see any sort of message. Something is definitely up with my super chats. I don't know what's going on. Zaki, if you did write a message, please write it in the comments. But thank you so much for the super chat. Very kind of you. Hello to Dawn from Burlington, Ontario. Thank you. Chantal says, wow, my daughter told me as she is in Montreal, Toronto is ridiculously expensive. Yeah, like Montreal's like a little bit less expensive than Toronto, but it's all over Canada, to be honest. Like, even Alberta, like, or I should say Calgary, you know, because for a long time I was like, guys, like, you know, Calgary's the place to be. You can have such a high quality of life for, you know, not too crazy amount of money. Yeah, I think everybody got on that train. Apparently, you know, prices are exploding now in Calgary as well, and, you know, probably all over Alberta. So I don't know where there's left to go here, guys, for a reasonable price. Like, it is just crazy. So I think there'll be a lot of people leaving Canada, is most likely what is going to happen. Carolyn says, wow, that's crazy. I'm a digital nomad currently living in Chiang Mai, paying only $300 per month, and that's already includes internet, electricity, etc. Yes, thank you for that comment, Carolyn, because that's exactly the better option that I am talking about, is that, like, unless you have a specific reason you need to be in Canada and there's just no way you can, you know, live and work remotely. I know it is very difficult for some people to have that option. There's definitely way more scarcity around remote jobs now because everybody wants to do that. But if you can, and you don't have any other reason that you have to be in Canada, like, get out. Like, get out. There's, if you're making just an average wage here, there's no way you're ever gonna, like, save money unless you're, like, living at home with your parents and they're covering the rent or something. Like, there's no way the person that's making $50,000 here in Canada is gonna be able to, like, put money away unless they have a very lucky rent situation. Like, there's just no way. So it's very sad. Okay, so this is kind of the end of the, you know, business part of Bloor West Village. We are going to keep heading east here and make our way to High Park, which, like I said, is one of my favorite areas of Toronto. It's a very large park. I really like when cities actually delegate that much space to nature and, you know, a beautiful place where people can go to relax. There are actually quite a few parks in Toronto, which is great, but High Park is definitely the biggest, so that's one of the big pluses of living in this part of the city, that you can just go for a run. Lots of people, you know, take their dogs out there. There is, like, off-leash dog parks in there as well. Lots of stuff for kids. There's Grenadier Pond. There is a restaurant in there as well, so you could go have, like, a nice breakfast or lunch in there. So I'll give you guys a bit of a tour there. I'm a little bit worried about the fact that we are already 47 minutes in. I did not plan for this part of the walk to take as long as it did. I think, you know, our well, my emotional situation has definitely timed things out a bit longer than planned, but that's okay. We're probably gonna have a super long live stream today, but I really appreciate you all coming out and hope that by the end of it you will get a better sense of this part of the city. Because if you are coming to Toronto, like, that's the thing, I think it would almost be a better idea for you to not get yourself into a long-term lease right away. It's like you really need to get yourself acquainted with all the different neighborhoods of the city to see what your options are. Ideally, just like short-term rent in different places, you know, see which one you like better. Because I remember when I first moved here, you know, we almost ended up living in a really, not like sketchy part of Toronto, but of course, you know, one of the least expensive areas near downtown is basically like Dundas and Sherbourne area. And me and my boyfriend at the time were like, oh wow, like, it's so reasonably priced, you know, compared to anything else. And, you know, the apartment itself looks great. Like let's go for it. Like, we thought about, you know, doing a deposit before we even got here. And then I spoke to a friend who actually lived in Toronto, and she's like, absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. You do not want to live in that area, especially like if you're going to be coming home, you know, late at night by yourself. You do not want to be walking around that area by yourself. And I was like, oh, like, I had no idea. So as with any city, you really should get to know all the different neighborhoods before you decide where to live. So hopefully this live stream will give you guys a better idea of what Bloor West Village, High Park, and Roncesvalles, otherwise known as Roncy, is like. That's where we're going to end the live stream today. Aw. Thank you so much to Monsieur Mike. Glad you like the live stream. Sonny says, come to Texas, it's more affordable. I enjoy your videos, Alina, all the best. Thank you so much. Oh, we got Alcides from Brazil, very cool. All right. Today's Sunday, so it might actually be pretty busy in the park today. Aw. Thank you very much to Happy YouTube channel. Please let me read these super chats, geez Louise, for your pizza slice. Thank you so much. I love pizza. I will absolutely do that. Thank you so much. There's a lot of good pizza places in Toronto. I was gonna reply to a comment. Oh yeah, and yes, so right now being Sunday, oh, kids running. So they have a new rule here actually, that on the weekends, they've closed vehicle access to High Park. So if you have a vehicle, you're gonna have to try and park on the street or something like that, because you can't park in the park anymore, but luckily we're walking, so that does not affect us. These condos all down here would actually be really, like if you wanted to live in High Park, this would be, I mean, ideal, as long as you don't get traffic noise. But High Park Station is just down there, so that'd be great to be like close right to the subway. There's a few like restaurants here, little grocery stores, there's some kind of health clinic down there, and then you literally have a path right into the park from here. So this is how we are gonna go in, and I'll try and show you guys as much as I can in the park. And what do you think? Do you guys want to see the zoo? There's actually a little free zoo here in High Park. So let me know in the comments if you guys want to see it, because that would affect our route a little bit. Oh, thank you very much to Kevin from Plattsboro, New York. Very kind of you. Yeah, look how nice it is here. You really feel like you're leaving the city for a while. I would actually say that my top 2 favorite nature places in Toronto, number 1 is High Park is Toronto Island. That is my favorite kind of nature escape that, yes, you do have to take like the ferry to, or a little speedboat or something to get to, but it's absolutely worth it. So Toronto Island would definitely be my number 1, and then my number 2 is High Park. High Park is very lovely. But I will say, having been here now for the past few weeks, as much as I do love this area, it does take a while to get downtown. Like if you wanted to get down to Union Station, you'd have to take like the green Bloor line, and then you'd have to go south on the Yonge line, and you know, adding in a little bit walking in between between getting on the subway, it's almost an hour. Like it's an hour each way. So me going downtown in the past few weeks has been so tedious, because I literally feel like I'm just commuting for like a good chunk of the day when it takes that long. So that would be one of the negatives about being out in this area, depending on where your work is and depending on, you know, what other kind of errands you have to run, or depending where your friends live. That's the other issue in Toronto, is like if your friends live on the other side of the city, and depending on what kind of transport options you have available to you, don't be fooled into thinking that having a car would somehow make it faster, because with the construction that they almost always, but especially this year, have going on, it is terrible. Like it is terrible how long you could be stuck in traffic the subway would probably be faster if it was right on the way. So to get around Toronto, to be honest, isn't always ideal. It's good. It's good. Overall, like the TTC is good, primarily the subway. But then they also just have lots of issues all the time. Like this past week, it's got to be at least 2 times, and then maybe once last week. Just the times that I was there, they had like full shutdown on the Bloor line where there wasn't trains between St. George and Ossington, and just hordes of people that obviously get inconvenienced, and it usually takes 30 minutes to an hour for them to like get things up and running again. And obviously all the Ubers sell out. It takes a long time for the what do you call them, the emergency buses to come in, so it's just chaos. So that's happened like 3 times already in the short while that I've been here, and I haven't even taken the TTC that many times. So they also have issues, so it's okay, but it's not perfect. My mom says High Park looks like Vladimirskaya Gorka in Kiev. Yes, what do you think? Yes, it definitely has an element to that. But more nature. Vladimirskaya Gorka is much more like maintained, I would say. Here, it's like you're in the forest almost. But yeah, I do see the resemblance. Yeah, I see other people feel the same about driving in Toronto. And then parking. I mean, like, I don't want to say all negative things about Toronto. That's not what I'm trying to do. Obviously, I'm here because I also love the city and there are so many great things about it. If it honestly wasn't for the cost of living and the uptick in crime, which is, you know, the whole other conversation, if it wasn't for those 2 factors, I think it would be amazing. Like, even with, yeah, okay, all the TTC congestion that can happen in any, you know, kind of city, and the other like issues that they have, I think more or less are all tolerable. It literally is the price. And also just unfortunately, like in many parts of Canada, there's definitely been an uptick in crime, which is very sad and disconcerting, because I have always felt that Canada overall is a very safe country. You know, I feel very comfortable here. Overall, I still do. But to see the kind of headlines that have been going around this past year especially, it really makes me question like what kind of trajectory Canada is on. That's what's worrying. Just because a certain place has been a certain way for a long time doesn't mean it can't change. Just like there's other countries, you know, that I've been to that, you know, for a long time they were really on hard times. It was not probably pleasant to live there. It was probably really scary to live there, but things are improving. You know, it's on a positive trajectory. It's going and getting better. But from what I've heard from many other Canadians, and I myself, you know, feel this, is that Canada's on a negative trajectory right now. Of course, they could turn it around. Of course, things could get better. And of course, it all depends on your specific situation and where you live and your own personal experience. But I think collectively, most Canadians would say that things were much better even 5-10 years ago. So we'll see. We'll see if they can turn it around. I hope they can. But right now, that's what it is.
Like my dad is
Actually, is there anybody here who lives in Toronto? I'm actually curious. I don't think there were some people who mentioned GTA, but like right in Toronto, is there anybody who lives here right now in the chat right now? And if there is, what has been kind of your experience in Toronto the last 4 years? I guess kind of more or less through COVID. I don't know how people can afford to sit in traffic in Toronto with those fuel prices. Very sad times. Yeah, I mean, that fuel price is a whole other thing. You know, Alberta technically has some of the lowest prices for fuel, and when I was there with my mom, you know, that was enough. Just you know, filling up her vehicle, which is kind of like a smaller SUV or whatever. I was like, holy hell, like things have definitely changed from when I had a vehicle. I had a Honda Civic, and you know, I remember to fill up my whole tank, this really ages me, I think was like $40-50. Yeah, you're not gonna get that anymore probably. So if you especially have like a big gas guzzler of a vehicle, oh my god, I can't even imagine what it's like. Oh no, I think it's actually gonna be a little bit muddy over here, sadly. I think it rained overnight. Okay, Nature with Peter Kane says, I live 30 minutes north along Young Line. Nice. Foodie guy says, I lived in Richmond and Sherbourne for a while. Awful place, huh? Sorry to hear that. Okay, one sec, guys. I gotta get through this muck without messing up my shoes too much. It was actually a bit difficult to pack for this trip. I forgot that I was going to tell you guys, where I'm going, so may as well tell you now. It was hard for me to pack for this trip because obviously August here in Toronto is still very warm, beautiful summer weather on a whole. But you know, September, October could still be quite warm. It could. Toronto on a whole tends to hold on to summer weather throughout early fall pretty regularly, or at least that was my experience when I lived here. Every year is different, so we don't know, but for sure I gotta have like fall clothes because the place that I'm going to in the end of September into early October tends to be a little bit cooler than Toronto, which is the Maritimes. Maritime provinces other than Newfoundland. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to make it out there on this trip, but I am doing a small stop in Nova Scotia, mainly around Halifax and area. I'm going to Prince Edward Island. That's probably where I'm going to spend the most significant amount of time. I'm only going for 2 weeks, so sadly can't see everything. But yeah, I'll be a whole week in Prince Edward Island, and then I'm gonna have just 4 days in Fredericton. So that is my next trip coming up in about a month, which I'm very excited for. I have never really explored the Maritimes before, other than Halifax, probably 7 years ago, and I went just for like 3 days, so I didn't really get to explore it that thoroughly. So it'll be great to like put out some content about it. Oh, okay, what is happening? So did somebody just send me a super chat? Because I see some kind of green message, the way it highlights super chats, but I can't see anything. And I don't get a notification that somebody just sent me a super chat. So if somebody did, please write your name. And yeah, if you had anything in the message, because I don't know what's going on with my system, sadly. It just is not showing it to me, but I see something highlighted. So I apologize, but technically it's YouTube that should be apologizing. Yeah, so I'm going to the Maritimes, which tends to be a bit cooler in weather, especially if they have like a big wind or any kind of rain going on when I'm there. Hopefully the weather is nice. So cooler weather for there. And then I have another month here in Toronto, which basically will just be spent editing the videos from the Maritimes, because I am planning on shooting quite a bit. And then, drum roll please, I am off once again to Southeast Asia for the winter, or at least a portion of the winter, because I'm hoping that by that date I will be able to release a project that I'm super excited about, that I'm currently working on here, that has to do with Southeast Asia. Because usually, you guys know, like I wouldn't usually repeat places too much. I do want to see other parts of the world and show you guys new content. I did spend all of last winter in Southeast Asia, but I'm going again because I have a super cool project that I want to release as I'm there. So it's going to be great because there was some places, you know, that I missed on my past trip. I wasn't able to go to Laos, which is supposed to be an amazing country. So I'm definitely going to be going to Laos while I'm there. I didn't get to really thoroughly explore Vietnam, northern Vietnam, I should say. So that's actually where I'm starting. And I won't be going alone because my dad will be joining me once again. I'm very glad that he had such a positive experience this past time that we went together. He really, you know, enjoyed himself and realized that, like, yeah, why in the hell should I sit in -40 winters in Saskatchewan, pay more money to do that. So instead, yeah, he's leaving with me. We're actually meeting in Toronto airport on the same flight to go to Vietnam as our first stop. So it'll be really lovely to spend that time with him again. And he will probably stay in Thailand once again after we do maybe like a couple of months of traveling together. And then, yeah, I will drop him off in, like, you know, Bangkok or Phuket. I was actually going to try and take him to Phuket this time so he sees what that's like. But he's probably going to stay up in Chiang Mai because he really liked Chiang Mai. So, yeah, I'm very happy for him. And after I do a few months in Southeast Asia, we'll see what I do. You know, it kind of just depends how the next few months go. Obviously, I hope I'm going to be feeling a lot better by then and won't have any health issues to worry about, but can really just take it, you know, one day at a time and adjust my plans accordingly. So we'll see how things happen, but right now that is what I have planned because I have the tickets already. I got a really, I think, like an overall good deal for the flight that we got. So I was like, most likely these prices are going to go up, so I may as well just, you know, book it while it's still reasonable. And worst case scenario, it is actually a ticket that I can cancel for only $200. So if I had to do that, it's not a big deal. So I want to read all your comments here, guys. Amazing. I'm very glad that you guys are excited to see Southeast Asia with me as well. Thank you so much to XRP Freak. I'm glad that you enjoy these walk and talks. Michael says, I would say come to Australia, but it's getting ridiculously expensive. Yeah. Okay, see, what the heck is going on? Is there a super chat from a John Carlo Nabong? I have such a weird thing going on how my super chats are coming up. I don't know what's happening. I see, you know, your name. I see that you sent 50 of something. I don't know what that currency is, but thank you so much. But I can't see any kind of message. Unless, what the hell? And it doesn't even come up as a real super chat. Super chat from John. John, so yeah, any guys, let's just, yeah, this is probably what we're just gonna have to do for this live stream. If you send me a super chat, I probably will get a sort of notification, but if you have a message, please just copy and paste it again in the comments right underneath. Really appreciate that, because yeah, I don't know what the hell's up with YouTube right now, live streaming. But thank you so much, John. Very kind of you. So here we are. We just kind of got off the forest trail, as I like to call it. And then we're getting into this lovely part that has paved walkways, with this area being where the yearly cherry blossoms are, which is absolutely beautiful. Usually happens, I think, first part of May. Of course, every year is different, but everybody will obviously come down here and it'll be super, super full when it's cherry blossom season. But really cool that we get to experience that here in Toronto. So, yeah. Lots of people picnic up here. Oh, lots of Canadian goose, of course. They run this park. We are just visitors. And also, I think on the weekends, there is that little train that goes all through High Park, mainly for kids, but I mean, adults can go on it too. Yeah, there's like a train that'll take you around the park and show you everything. There's a sort of walking garden maze over here, which is actually really beautiful. If you're standing right at the top of that hill, you can kind of see down, and I think it actually makes a Canadian flag, which is really pretty. We'll be up there a little bit later, so I'll show you guys from there. I just want to show you Grenadier Pond, and then we can head up. No, sadly, buddy, I can't make the video quality a bit higher. You can send that request to YouTube as well. Unfortunately, the highest that they will let me live stream on here with my phone is 720p, like frames per second. So that's unfortunately the best it can do. It also has to do with the signal. So sometimes, you know, the signal goes in and out, and that can affect the quality, unfortunately. Once again, sadly, can't do anything about that. And I have tried, you know, those other streaming things that do let you do 1080, Streamlabs and also Prism. But if you guys were here when I was trying that in Tokyo, that had many other problems. So unfortunately, I have not found any reliable, high quality options for live streaming where I can walk. If I was just in one place and I could just connect up a camera to Streamlabs, it might actually be better, and you can get a really high quality stream, kind of like the people who like stream video games and stuff. They can get really good quality, but I haven't found any reliable options for a walk and talk live. But if anybody actually has any that I haven't already tried, let me know. But that is unfortunately what we're dealing with. Yes, and it is very lush and green right now here in the park. Really beautiful. And I'm surprised how many people fish here, right? I'm just like, do they actually catch anything? What kind of fish is in here? I see a lot of people doing it, so they must be catching something. Unless they're just doing it for like relaxation or something. Aw. Rahul says, I was in High Park for cherry blossoms last year. Beautiful experience. That's awesome. Yeah, I love coming here during that season. If I remember correctly, I think it is like the consulate of Japan or something that, you know, gifted the trees to Toronto a long time ago, same as they did, I think, in Vancouver. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's how such beautiful, rare trees for Canada ended up making their way here. It's really lovely. I'm very happy that I got to spend cherry blossom season actually in Japan this year. That was pretty special. It had been probably 13 years since I was last in Japan for that. We're actually gonna cut through here, cut through the grass, because we still have the zoo that I want to show you guys. So we're gonna start hiking up the path here, because I want to show you guys the zoo. Oh yes, and I think they did the same in Washington, D.C. Oh, so they have cherry blossoms too. That's awesome. Genway asks, is it High Park or Hyde Park? It's High Park. Yes, that sounds similar, right? Hyde Park is in London, or I mean, maybe there's other places that have that name as well. But it is High Park. Actually, is this the place? I actually can't. No, yeah, I guess it is up here. I guess I can go up here. All these paths are kind of winding. I forget which one leads to what. Oh, we got somebody from Ireland here. Amazing. I think Yavuz asks, have you been to Istanbul? Yes, I have. Quite a while ago. I guess it might be 4 years ago. Sadly, didn't spend as much time there as I would have liked. Definitely would love to come back to Turkey and spend more time there. It is becoming a bit of a digital nomad hub as well, especially Istanbul. So yeah, I would love to go back and visit again. Oh, we got Jason, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, from Medellin. Very cool. Hello. The city of eternal spring, Medellin. Well, Michael, a great trip to Turkey. That is great. Zhenwei asks, do you have any plans to stay long abroad, Alina? Yes. In a way, I thought that I might be spending more time in Canada, and maybe I still will be, I don't know. You know, if I got different work opportunities and, you know, depending how things go here in Toronto, and I mean, maybe I still will, I don't know. But from first impressions, I don't know, I just can't justify how expensive it is here at this point in time because I have the opportunity to work abroad, right? It'd be a different story if I didn't have that option, but because I can work and live not anywhere, but a lot of places, I'm, you know, really, it's unlikely that I would choose Canada as my home for this period in my life. Maybe later, but yeah, I'm absolutely leaving again for long-term travel. Well, for this trip to Southeast Asia. I don't know how long it'll be, but unless I have a reason to come back to Canada, I probably would just go to another part of the world after my trip to Southeast Asia. And I definitely would like to go to Europe next summer, fall. So what happens in the springtime kind of time is up in the air, but summer and fall I would like to be in Europe and maybe Central Asia. So we'll see how things go. All right, we made it up the hill. We got some beautiful gardens here as well. And we are going to head to the zoo because you guys mentioned you want to see that. I don't think all the animals are there. Last time I walked through it, there was some empty cages, but we'll see who's there now. And also up here, I'll just point out where the lovely restaurant is if you guys ever come up here and you're feeling hungry but you don't want to leave the park. There's a lovely restaurant just over here. Just has some basic sort of stuff. Oh, and yeah, thank you, Max, that I should take care of my health before I leave for Asia. I mean, yeah, obviously, for sure, that's the plan. I want to feel better as soon as I possibly can. And, you know, since I pay for Canadian taxes, I should have a right to the Canadian healthcare system. But having said that, in a worst case scenario, I actually would be open to possibly getting, you know, some second opinions or checking things out when I'm in a place like Bangkok. Like Bangkok has some of the best world-class hospitals in the world, which sure aren't all completely cheap, but it's, you know, I think usually fairly reasonable prices for how quickly you get answers, you know, about your tests and being able to see a specialist so quickly because you're paying out of pocket. So to be honest, hopefully, obviously, I'll be feeling good as new. I don't have any health issues, but if I had any kind of health issues, I am open to getting private care while I am in Southeast Asia. So that's actually one of the other reasons that it's not a bad idea to go to Southeast Asia for the winter, is because, you know, for certain things here in Canada, it takes a very long time to get appointments for specialists and all that kind of stuff. So it might be just as well that if I need that, Southeast Asia. So yeah, no cars here today. Because, well, actually these cars, oh, these are probably cars from the workers. That's what these are probably, beside the restaurant. So yeah, it's the weekend, so there's no traffic down here, which is great. Just bicycles. This is also a great place to go biking. There's the train that I was talking about. That is a great way to get around, even if you don't have a child. I don't think they can stop you from getting on it. Jenway says, would love to see you travel to Taiwan sometime. Yeah, I would love to go to Taiwan, actually. I had some YouTube friends that did content from there a few months back, and it looked super, super cool. So I would love to visit Taiwan sometime. All right, so now we are heading down into the Hyde Park Zoo. And my favorite animals in the zoo are, of course, the capybaras. The very, I guess they call them a part of the rodent family, but they're extremely large rodents. They're just so chill and just look so nice. I don't think they would hurt a fly. They are everybody's friends. And also, they are the animals that basically did a prison break from the zoo. I remember a few years back, like there were headlines of like capybaras on the loose in Toronto or something like that. I don't know how they escaped, but you know, good for them. And I don't think they were hurt. So they're also very smart animals. Oh yeah, Chris says, I remember seeing that on the news. That's awesome. All right. And they have llamas. Yeah, so the llamas are also very, very cute. Yeah, so see, animals are off display in this enclosure to allow for pasture regeneration, which is great. That's good. They probably have them out on some kind of farm or something like that. Anya, or well, Anya in Ukrainian Russian. Greetings from Ukraine. Thank you for the nice stream. Are you going to Cambodia again? Thank you so much. Дякую. Yes, I would love to go to Cambodia again. I will, I think, in the future, but I'm not sure if it will be on this trip, just because I don't see myself spending as long as I did this past year in Southeast Asia. I'm going to be limited to, you know, maybe just a handful of countries for this trip to launch the project that I'm wanting to do. So probably Cambodia won't happen this time around, but in the future I would love to go back because I did have a really good time there. So yes, I hope you're safe if you're in Ukraine right now. Harriet, Jim, and Yuki ask, if you could afford it, do you see yourself ever living in Toronto way in the future? Good question. Yeah, I mean, like if money wasn't a problem, and if I had, you know, work opportunities that, you know, kind of made sense for me to be here, you know, if I had a partner here, if, you know, things improved in the city, then yeah, definitely I could see myself living in Toronto. I do really like this city. It is, you know, my favorite in Canada. So we'll see how things happen, you know. But for the time being, unless something really unexpected happens, probably not going to be in the coming time. All right, so our first beautiful being that we're visiting is the peacocks. Look how lovely they are. And this species, the men are much more flamboyant than the women are. The women are much more chill. It's the men that have to impress them with their looks. So that is them. They actually have quite a few. I can already see just 4. Somehow I thought there was just a couple here, but I guess they have at least 4 peacocks. So that's nice. And then up here, I think is the sheep, if I'm not mistaken. Or rams, I don't know, they have like those really big horns. I don't know if they're considered sheep or rams. We'll see here. Chris says, I think the peacocks escaped from the zoo as well. Maybe. Yeah, here we go. So these guys are pretty tough looking. It's kind of hard to give you guys a proper picture with this gate. I wonder if I can, like, one sec. Maybe, like, nah, it's kind of hard. Kind of hard to give you guys a proper close-up of these guys. But they're pretty majestic. Can jump very high. Wouldn't want them angry at you. Oh, one of the other, like, most fascinating creatures to see here is definitely the emus. You know, the smaller version of an ostrich, which in the wild would be terrifying to come across because they can absolutely run faster than you, and they could absolutely take your eye out, or many other things for that matter. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that TikTok of that lady that has like a farm sanctuary and has an ostrich that is like always terrorizing her. After seeing those videos, I know that I would just like take the fetal position if I ever came across an ostrich, because there's no way I could take that on. We have some Highland cows over here. Melissa says, I got a selfie with a peacock at Fort Wayne Zoo. He smiled at the camera and everything. I'll probably never pull that off again. Oh, that's awesome. There we are. Yeah. Oh, it's so hard to give you guys a proper view. I actually didn't think it'd be this difficult, but you guys see. Cute cows. Very cute cows. Let's try and find the emu. Aw. Jim Ross. Thank you so much. And want to say, what the heck, I can finally actually see your super chat just fine, as it should be. Maybe it was like a network connection error or something when I was having issues with the other one. So thankfully I can see your super chat perfectly. Thank you so much. You are so kind. Since food is sky high, I'll just add a little for a dinner or lunch, because we know Alina just likes to munch. I do, thank you. Healthy grub to get her ready to travel as she does. This Alberta boy will forgive her for wanting to exist in the center of the universe. Thank you so much. Toronto is, you know, up its own ass a little bit sometimes, for sure. They do think, I mean, I used to live here. It definitely is self-important. So thank you very much. And hope you're doing great, Jim. Thank you for coming out as always, and hope you're having a really lovely summer as well. Here, well, they're at the gate because sometimes they're further back and you can't see them. Or shoot, can you guys even see them from here? Do you see? Oh, there we go, there we go. Do you see the emus? There we go. Oh my gosh. They are so cute, right? They're so terrifying and cute. A face only a mother could love, right guys? No, you're beautiful in your own way. It's weird because they have that like little bit of hair, you know, on the top of their head. I don't know what that's about. But they're cute. Maybe they're actually really chill emus, we don't know. Just their orange eyes freak me out. That would be quite a pet to have. Aw, thank you very much, Anya. Thank you. Okay, see, now we're back to ridiculousness. So I see a super chat from Joe Logs Vlog Canada for $6.99. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Now, why? Or maybe if I go like this. Okay, so that one didn't have a message. Okay, all right. But it still came up weird. I don't know what the heck is going on with the way the super chats have been coming up. So strange. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hope you are doing great. Thank you for coming out. You guys are so sweet. What is over here? Is this the capybaras? Maybe. One sec, guys. I think we're getting closer to the capybaras and every. Oh yes, there they are. Look how cute they are. Do you guys see them? They're like right there. Oh, I wish the fence wasn't there so I could like give you guys a proper view. Oh my gosh, there's 2 of them. Oh my gosh, look at them. Okay, I'm gonna try here. Yes, there we go.
And they're just like the most social.
Is that not one of the cutest things you guys have ever seen? Oh my god, look at them. Oh my god. They're having the time of their life. They're so cute. I don't know if any of you guys remember when I was in Curitiba in Brazil and they have capybaras just on the loose in the park. Oh my god, look at his teeth or her teeth. And that was so cool because they were so chilled. Like they didn't care at all that humans were like around them. They were just like laying around. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my god. It really likes that mud, I think. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love them so much. I love them so much. Like, obviously I don't overall support zoos, but I think, you know, they do say that these ones are ones that like had issues and couldn't survive on their own, so that's why they're here. Obviously I don't know if that's true, but it is just so nice to be able to see these animals up close. They are so sweet. And look at this. Look at the llamas. I think every day they have like a feeding time where you can pet the llamas. Oh my gosh. So cute. Has anybody actually been to Peru? Because in Peru, you know, these guys are just out in the wild, which is pretty cool to see. So sweet. And they're so fluffy. They're all shaved right now, obviously, for the summertime, but in the winter, they'll have their coat of fur, and they're just so fluffy. Oh my goodness. And I love their spots, actually. These guys have such an interesting coat on them. That is adorable. Well,
That's what they're gonna feed the capybaras.
I'm very glad that we came down here.
Oh my god.
Oh, you got one? Okay. Okay, I'll hold that.
Michael says be careful because they can spit on you if there are no ideas. Yes, I have heard that. Same as camels, right? So they're so sweet. Aww. I'm glad we came down here, guys. This has been such a nice way to spend Sunday with you, walking around. Such a lovely area. My mood has improved, so thank you guys. I'm glad that we came out here. I am, like, I'll be honest, I am feeling a bit of pain. Very weird, but it's not too bad. You know, it's like it's tolerable. So I still feel like moving is better than sitting still, right? Because technically you can have more numbness if you just, you know, sit around and don't move your mobility, but at the same time I don't want to overdo it, right? I don't want to like cause more damage or like do some kind of exercise that actually like pulls something or makes it worse or something. But I feel like walking around not too much is a good thing, so that is good. Actually, since we kind of have like, there's a bit more of the park left, which I'll show you in a minute, but it's kind of not as interesting in this park. And what we're gonna do right now is we have to exit out the park onto High Park Avenue, and we're gonna walk through, in my opinion, like one of the nicest like Victorian house areas. That the house is there. I mean, it's got to be in like the $3 million, $4 million, $5 million mark. Some of the most ridiculous houses that you know, you could find here in Toronto. I want to show you guys that. And then that street will lead to Roncesvalles, which is actually considered to be the more Polish area of the city. It's not, you know, it's obviously not just Polish people that live in the area. It's kind of similar to Bloor West Village, where it's just a very quiet, family-friendly, excuse me, it's a family-friendly sort of area. But they also have like a Polish festival every year as well, and have some like really good restaurants there. They actually, I think, have more places for Polish food than Bloor West Village has for Ukrainian food, which is kind of sad. Some Ukrainians who have moved here, please open a Ukrainian like restaurant or like some kind of Ukrainian shop, like please, like we really need it. And I think you would get so much business. I really don't understand how like there really isn't that many options, like literally next to none. I wish that somebody would open that. So this is kind of the end of the park. If you walk through this area, it will take you down out to like the Queensway area, kind of closer down to Lake Ontario. So that's another great place to walk. There's a lovely kids playground over there, though maybe it's under construction. We got an ice cream truck over here, but we are going to head up towards High Park Boulevard. Oh, so for who was asking about street food, so this is the street food that you get in Toronto. Hot dogs, usually. Aw. Thank you so much to Rahul. Thank you for coming out as always. Thank you for this lovely live stream, and hope you feel better soon. Thank you so much. Are you planning on visiting CNE and TIFF? So, funny story. I was planning on going to CNE later this week, which is the Canadian National Exhibition. For those of you who haven't heard of it, it goes all month basically in Toronto. You know, rides, exhibitions, performances, everything. It's great. It is great. I have been, you know, a few times when I lived here, but I technically went to it last night. I was walking around with Ryan, and there was like a gate that was open beside it that like led to it, so we just like went in. Probably shouldn't say that on camera, but other people were doing it too, like whatever. So we just like we snuck in basically, and we like walked around all the grounds, and it was nice. You know, it was nice, but to be honest, there wasn't like a lot going on. And the older that I've gotten, I can't handle rides. Like I really can't handle even like basic rides for kids. It gives me motion sickness, so you know that wouldn't really be something that I would do. We walked through, like the animal part and like the arts and crafts, and I mean it's nice, but nothing really that interesting going on. And then with performances, there wasn't really anything of interest to me, so probably won't go to the CNE again this year because I already technically went. But TIFF I would like to go to. I specifically timed my time so that I would be here for TIFF, which is September 7th to 17th, because I do have, you know, a lot of actor friends and hopefully we'll get to go to a few different events, maybe even see a movie or two. And it's just like a really cool time to be in the city. So yeah, definitely I'll be here for TIFF, and I'm basically leaving to the Maritimes right after TIFF finishes. So yeah, that's definitely on my list. So thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you for coming out as always. Thank you for the very kind super chat, and hope you're having a lovely summer as well here in Ontario, if that's where you are right now. Have a wonderful time. So guys, we're actually coming up to the gate here. So this is the gate where you enter and exit the park from this side. And the street that goes through here is Parkside Drive. And then this one that we're walking on is High Park Boulevard. So let's get across the street here. Okay, what is happening here? So many people. All right, so starting here is the insane houses, mansions basically, that I was talking about. You know, some are more grand than others, but obviously every single house on this street, if I had to take a guess, will be at least $1.5 million. And that's like the lowest end. That'll be like a tiny house on this street. Those kinds of things, those enormous places that probably have like, I don't know, 7 bedrooms, or I don't even know, like this one. Yeah, how many rooms would it be, especially if it has a basement? These, like, I would estimate at least like $3-4 million. Like easily a place like this would be 3-4 million. I think I'm probably even underestimating how expensive it is, because it depends on the renovation inside also. I can't obviously see what it looks like on the inside. So this would definitely be one of the nicest areas to live in Toronto, because you are, you know, right near the park. This is also such a nice quiet street. I think overall this neighborhood is very quiet, very safe. You know, beautiful old homes. You know, I guess it would depend what kind of shape they're in on the inside with the plumbing and all that jazz, but I assume that the people who live here have the money to upkeep such a beautiful place. Lovely gardens in front of so many of the places. And so, yeah, this street will actually lead to Roncesvalles, or Roncy. So then you have, you know, local businesses that you can choose from as well, grocery stores. So while you are kind of in a quieter, almost suburbia sort of area, you're also walking distance to amenities and also the park. So in a way, this really is a perfect neighborhood. Aw, thank you so much to Facey. I like your videos a lot. I really want you to be my travel guide in Canada. Thank you so much. Well, maybe someday I will do kind of group tours of some of the places that I visit. But I think I would need a company's help to do like that sort of thing. If it was more than just like a walk and talk, if it was more than a day tour, I definitely would need like a certified travel company to help me with that. But yeah, maybe I'd do like a day tour of a place if I happen to be somewhere interesting and there was a group of people that wanted me to take them out. That would be fun. Yeah, it is stunning, isn't it? Like, look at these homes. Oh. It's such a beautiful day today too, right? Like, it's just perfect weather. I love balconies. I love big, beautiful balconies with a nice view on a home or even just an apartment. Like for myself in the future, I'd love to have a beautiful balcony to put like a nice little table and chairs and just sunbathe there. That would be so perfect. Aw, thank you so much to Warren Otska. Really enjoy your walk and talks. My favorites so far are the ones in Japan and Ukraine. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Warren. That is so nice of you. I'm glad you enjoyed them. And yeah, doesn't it feel like so long ago that I was in Japan? It really isn't. Well, I guess it depends what you call a long time. It's been about 3 months. Yeah, it's been about 3 months since I was in Japan. 3 to 4 months. So it has been a while already, but seems much longer ago. It seems like that was last year or something, but no, like that was this year. That was this year. But I'll definitely be back to Japan sometime. What I also wonder about these enormous homes, right? Like some of them I'm sure are just, you know, one family, maybe a very large family, because why would two people need that much space? There's actually one house down here. I don't know if I already passed it, but okay, well, even this one, this wasn't the one I was thinking of, but like look at this house on the corner here. Like that's so enormous. I would think that that has to be like quite a few different like living units, you know, like maybe the family who actually owns it lives on one level or like one side of the house because it's just such a wide house, and then they have renters in the top part, or like I don't know if they have a basement or what, but it's like that, like that's just enormous. That's 3 stories, and maybe if they have a basement, 4 stories, you know, who would need that much space unless you were like, I don't know, a family of 8 children or something like that. Like that would be absolutely wild. And also if you think of, you know, how much utilities would be and all that jazz. But anyways, I just feel like it's gotta be, especially, you know, since most people probably are feeling the cost of living crisis. I would think that most people who have these huge sort of homes have found ways to turn them into like a rental unit as well. That would be my guess. Because for example, even like the house that I'm staying in, it's like it actually is kind of similar to these sorts of houses where I'm staying in Bloor West Village. It's like this beautiful 3-story Victorian house, and the family who owns it is like multi-generational. You know, I saw they have grandparents, you know, parents, and then also kids. They live in the top 2 parts of the house, and then the basement, which they Airbnb, yeah, they got those like 3 bedrooms. So even with, you know, just 2 people in there right now, if we're both paying the same rate, I don't know, you know, how long that girl is staying who's my roommate, I mean, like, you know, roommate in the house, you know, they're making at least $3,000 every month. They're making at least $3,000 after Airbnb fees. I guess they have to pay taxes on that too, but you know, they're making a good chunk of change renting out the basement of their house. So, you know, I think for most people it would make sense to rent out a portion of their house. Oh, that's such a cute house. Look at that. Oh, that's so nice. That's beautiful. I think for most people that like have homes, yeah, like that size, unless you have a huge family, it would really make sense to rent out a portion of it. So here we are coming up to Roncesvalles. Nature with Peter Kane asks, yikes, the property taxes on a property like that. Yes, it's gonna be bad. Like, it's gonna be real bad. That we know for sure. You gotta be rich to live in that kind of area. Oh no, guys. I don't know if you got a glitch, but it says I'm on low battery now, so I only got 20% left on my phone, and I forgot my damn power bank, I just realized. So luckily I know this city, I'm not gonna get lost, but it's actually good timing because I think 20% should get me to Bloor Street. That should get me to there before my phone dies. So let me just give you a quick little walk around Roncesvalles. Really lovely area. Flip the camera here. It's nice because they got, you know, some older, you know, 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom rental units on here as well. So it's not just people who can afford a house that live here. You can also rent apartments here, but there's not really many condos. I think most of the condos are either down here or almost at like Dundas West area up there. Here it's only the older, not too high story sort of buildings that they have for rent. Thank you so much for the super chat to Clifford. For your country, Alina, we never forget about your folks. Thank you so much, Clifford. That's very kind of you. I'll pass that on to my family. We do, you know, help them financially as much as we can in Ukraine. So thank you for that. It has obviously been a very horrible time, you know, for a long time now, especially with just a few days ago when they attacked Chernihiv. People died, but we've already talked about so many sad and scary things today. So, you know, I'll do an update on Ukraine. I think, you know, maybe in the next couple of months and stuff. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So yeah, so then we have these older sort of apartment buildings here that are really lovely. Insanely grand church. It's just on another level how big it is. And yeah, there's a lot of really lovely local businesses here. There's an older theater that I remember going to that's really nice. The Polish festival, as I said before, takes place here. They shut down the whole street. Yeah. And then actually I forgot to mention that if you go all the way down, because see, we kind of started halfway. Keep in mind, like, Roncesvalles goes all the way down to Queen Street, and technically it's like Queen Street and then also I don't know if it's called Queen's Way, but you know, the road that goes down to the water as well. So if you walk all the way down there, you will get down to Lake Ontario, and that's actually a really lovely area to walk around as well. But we are going north up to Bloor. So just give you a tour of half of Roncesvalles today. But I feel like we covered quite a bit. We are almost at the 2-hour mark. So I feel like I've done a pretty extensive live stream today. I didn't know how long it would take today. I estimated an hour to an hour and a half, but definitely I was wrong. This place is really great. I really like Chicago. European Bakery and Deli. Kind of strange that they would call it Chicago, right? But they have some like really good, not just Polish food in there actually, because it does say, yeah, like European. They have some stuff that could be considered traditionally Ukrainian or traditionally Russian. Like, you know, pelmeni would be Russian, vareniki would be Ukrainian. They have some crepes, kind of similar like blinis to what we have in Ukraine. Really, really good. So highly recommend going to that bakery. Got a sushi restaurant. We got a barbecue place somewhere down. Oh yeah, right here, Bark. Bark is a really good barbecue place that's been here for a really long time. A lot of lovely like handicraft shops. Lots of good local businesses here, and you know, thankfully it looks like quite a few survived through COVID, which unfortunately is not the case in certain other neighborhoods. I heard that, let me flip here. I heard that one of the neighborhoods that has definitely not done as well, and I saw that the last time I was here, which was Parkdale, which is like Queen East. Parkdale is actually just down here. Like if you go on Queen Street and you go that way, that's Parkdale. So when I lived here, I had acting classes all the time at a studio in Parkdale, so I hung out there quite a bit. And sure, it was always a little bit rough around the edges, but like still a really cool kind of like, you know, a little bit of a hipster but kind of rough sort of neighborhood. But I really liked it. I really liked Parkdale. And the last time that I was there, about 2 years ago, when it was still kind of COVID stuff going on, like COVID closures, I mean, yeah, I could see that, yeah, so much had closed. There was a lot more vandalism. You see a lot of people, you know, on drugs, all that kind of stuff. And apparently now it's gotten worse. So I haven't been down there yet this trip, but I think I should go down there just to see, you know, how things have changed. So unfortunately, not every neighborhood has been able to be okay through the last few years. Thank you so much for the super chat, Chris. Thanks for the tour. Buy yourself a coffee. Thank you so much. I absolutely will do that. My God, I'm actually so hot and so thirsty. I didn't really have time to have like a proper breakfast this morning. I haven't been sleeping well, so I like tried to sleep in as much as I could before the start of my live stream. So I just like ate a piece of toast. So, you know, after 2 hours of walking around and talking in the heat, I'm definitely tired. So thank you all for the super chats. You've been all so incredibly generous. All of it goes towards me being able to make my content and have this be my full-time job, and it definitely pays for me to eat some good food once in a while. So thank you all so much. My mom says bye-bye, thank you for the live stream, love you a lot. I love you too, but my live stream's not over yet. We still got at least 5 more minutes, as long as my battery will last. But thank you, Mom. I'll give you a call later today. Don't try calling me right after my live stream because my phone will be dead, so I will call you. Хорошо. Thank you so much to Rahul. Thank you for the cute little super sticker and super chat. Thank you so much. You were so sweet. Oh no. Oh, this isn't good. I just realized I didn't put on sunscreen. Was the other thing that I forgot to do this morning. Damn it. And it is so hot right now, and my tender baby skin is not gonna react well to that. That's not good. I gotta stay in the shade, guys, because I'm very susceptible to sunburns. Totally forgot to put on sunscreen, and it's gonna be like midday by the time we're done, so that's not good. Okay, all right, okay, can't do anything about it right now. Let me flip the camera and keep giving you guys a last little bit of a view of Ronci. Maybe we'll make it all the way up to Dundas West. Like, that is a bit of a ways away. I want to have at least like 5%, you know, battery for emergencies. Hello. Oh, really? Oh, thank you so much. What's your name?
Nelson.
Nelson? Alina, nice to meet you. You're actually on stream now.
I go to my parents every Sunday.
Oh, nice.
I've been watching your, I love Japan.
Oh,
Japan
thank you
videos.
so much. That's so kind of you.
I go there every Sunday, I go up here and I'm like, oh, I'll just, I saw people there. I was like, oh my God.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you live in this area?
I live at Parkland and Lakeshore.
Okay,
and
lovely.
I went to high school at that high school right there at the corner of Dundas and Bloor.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and then, but I've always been in the West End.
Oh, yeah.
Family there, so.
Well, this is one of my favorite areas of the city, so always so nice to come down here. Yeah.
All over the world, like you're like 400 videos.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while since I've been doing it, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge
Yeah,
fan.
well.
I've been watching you all morning, so.
Aw, thank you so much. Great to see you and great to meet you.
Oh, no problem.
Have a wonderful
Enjoy
day.
Toronto.
Take care. Thank you. Bye. So nice. Such a small world is what I always think. Like, what's so crazy? Like, literally, like, look, before I started this live stream, ran into one of my old work colleagues, and then I meet somebody, you know, who watches my channel, which is always like such a lovely experience every time I meet one of you guys, because even though, yeah, okay, I have an audience of like 243,000 people, obviously that is substantial, and probably some people who watch my videos that aren't subscribed, but still I feel like in a world of billions of people, and even in a city like Toronto of millions of people, like what are the chances that I would happen to run into somebody who watches my channel? Like, it's just wild. It's so cool. So anytime you see me, come say hi. I love meeting you guys. Actually, funny, where I live, literally my neighbor actually said to me one day, he's like, are you a YouTuber? And I was like, yes. He's like, I watch your videos. I was like, what are the chances that I would be living beside somebody who knows who I am? So definitely a small world. Let me flip here, guys. This place is really good. Reunion Coffee Roasters, really fantastic coffee. I do like the new streetcars, because if I'm not mistaken, have they completely replaced all the old ones in Toronto? Because when I lived here, they had just put out the new streetcars, and you know, it was like, oh, these are so fancy, these are so nice, compared to, you know, the nice but old ones that they had here basically as soon as they first started streetcars. But I'm pretty sure now that there's no old ones left. At least I don't remember seeing any old ones on any of the major streets like College or Dundas or Queen, King. They're all the new ones now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Martin says the old ones are all gone. Okay. I mean, that's good. That's good that they've invested in such an important, you know, way to get around for the population. Oh, before I forgot. So this is the cinema, Review Cinema. Really lovely theater that's been here for a really long time, and they play, you know, very what's the word, always towards the end of the live streams, guys, my vocabulary really is getting to its wits end, but not so well known films is what I'm trying to say. I thought I had a word for that, but I guess indie sort of films. So lovely theater to go to here on Ronci. Jim says, Alina, stop and get some suntan lotion. We don't want you to get burned. Yeah, that's actually a very good idea, because I still have actually a ways to go to get home unless I jump on the subway. I think I need to get some lunch first though, so I'm gonna go grab some food, and depending on how much battery I have left, maybe I will walk home, and if I do, I'll get some sunscreen, yeah. Or yeah, I'll just take the subway home and take a rest. Just so you guys know, what the heck, I'm trying to flip the camera, it's not letting me flip the camera. So my goal, as long as I'm feeling well in this time that I'm going to be in Toronto, my goal is to actually give at least, I would like to do at least 4 neighborhood tours while I'm here in Toronto, like on live stream, I mean. Obviously I'll be doing videos as well here in Toronto, but I wanted to ask you guys, what are the neighborhoods that you want to see in these lives most of all? So this time we've done Bloor West Village, High Park, Ronci, so good, we got that covered. Which other neighborhoods would you guys like to see in future lives? Please let me know in the comments here. Rahul says Danforth. Absolutely. I haven't been to the Danforth yet at all on this trip. I've been here for 3 weeks and haven't been down to the Danforth yet. So I would love to, yeah. And Advisor IT also says Greektown. So those two go hand in hand. Yeah, Danforth, Greektown, great area. That will definitely be a option. Rosedale, okay, that's East End too. Chris says Drake's home. I don't know. I don't personally know Drake, so if somebody has a connection, let me know. What the hell? You guys actually know where Drake lives? Nina says Drake's home is close to my workplace. I thought he lives in some kind of huge mansion here, like kind of on the outskirts of Toronto, like Billionaire's Alley or something. Interesting. Bayview and Lawrence. Oh, Bayview and Lawrence is where Drake lives. How do you guys know this? What the hell? Okay, interesting. Yorkville, yeah, goes with Rosedale. Yeah, the Rosedale. I mean Yorkville. What I'm trying to say is, yeah, one of my favorite areas too. So definitely we'll do Yorkdale. Obviously, I was thinking Queen West. You know, Queen West has a lot to offer, and I don't think I've ever done it in any of my lives. Like Trinity Bellwoods, we could do, yeah, like Queen West into Parkdale, stop in Trinity Bellwoods. That would be a video. I mean, that's a long way to walk, so that's an option. Yeah, beaches or harborfront would be nice. Yeah, good idea. Actually, speaking of the beaches, so I live in the West End right now, right? So I'm here until the 20th, then I go to the Maritimes, and then when I come back, I actually rented a place in the East End. So yeah, that's gonna be different because I don't think I've never lived in the East End. So that will be a whole new experience just personally, but then that will also make it easier to do live streams, you know, in like Leslieville, Beaches area. So I'll save those for when I get back. But yeah, I think anything in the West End, I may as well do while I'm here. So maybe Queen Street area I would do while I'm still here. And then just reading your other comments here. Yeah, and then like Yorkville, Rosedale I could do as well. And then yeah, Danforth and like Leslieville and all that I could do when I'm in the East End. So that might be what I'm gonna do. So thank you guys for the suggestions. Great suggestions. We're almost to the end here. This is actually the corner where you can get onto Dundas. It's kind of weird how Dundas just kind of curves in here. That's the Dundas streetcar. So that's another way you could get to Dundas Square if you wanted to. So last but not least, last question I have for you guys on this live. From what you've seen of this area, would you want to live here? And let's just get the obvious out of the way. Money is no object. Money is no object. You can, you know, live here for free. Is this the kind of neighborhood that you would want to live in? Or is it a bit too quiet for you? Not that much action going on? Or is there something else that you look for, you know, in a place? Like, is this the kind of neighborhood that would be an ideal place for you to live in? Let me know in the comments. So Thomas says yes. Chris says it's a nice neighborhood. Michael says absolutely. Indian Mastiff says no. Durf says nope. John says I do. Okay, yeah, well, I mean, it's not for everybody, right? Jenway says I would. Vince says maybe. David says sure. Yeah, I really like it too. Like, if I could live anywhere in Toronto, this would definitely be an area that I'd be happy with, but it wouldn't be my top choice, I wouldn't think. Oh no, guys, we're on 10%. I just got a notification. So yeah, definitely perfect timing because my battery's getting down. So we're just gonna finish up here soon. yeah, so this area isn't my top. For a long time, I thought the Annex would be my favorite neighborhood to live in Toronto, because like then you're really in the heart of it all. Like you're right close to Yorkville, you're in the Annex, you're close to then like Koreatown, and like Ossington's not too far as well. Then you also have Kensington Market, you got Chinatown, you know, there's a lot. Casaloma, I mean, technically if you go north. So there's a lot of stuff around there, but now I don't know. Now I don't know if the Annex would be like my top choice anymore. I feel like I have to rediscover Toronto all over again, because it has changed, you know, so much since I was last here. So we'll see. We'll see what my new favorite neighborhood is going to be. So guys, I think this is pretty much the end of my live stream. It shows that I have been live streaming for 130 minutes, which is just over 2 hours. And I wonder how many steps I have walked. I would think it's at least 20,000. Let's actually end it here in the shade. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you truly so much for everybody for coming out, and especially if you stayed the whole time. Like, my God, thank you so much. Thank you for spending Sunday with me. This was super fun, and even though I am in a bit of pain right now, it did take my mind off things. So I am glad that I did this with you guys, and I hope that probably in about 2 weeks time, I'm gonna do another live stream. I haven't decided if it will be Queen Street or Yorkville area, or maybe somewhere like on Bloor towards the east end. Maybe I'll do one down there, so we'll see. But probably in about 2 weeks time from now is when the next live stream will be, and then my first video from Toronto will be out probably this Tuesday or Wednesday. So that is when you guys can expect that was a hawk, or holy hell, I don't know if you guys heard that, but like that was not a pigeon. That was not a pigeon. What the hell is he doing in downtown? Well, not downtown, but Toronto. That's weird. Okay, anyways guys, thank you so much for coming out. Sending you all lots of love. Truly, thank you so much for all of your support. I'm really sending love to each and every one of you, because I think we're all kind of like, you know, struggling with different things right now. So, you know, thank you for your support, and I hope you all are doing well. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Lots of love. See you later.